Hey guys, Mick here. As part of our bike setup series, one of the things I thought we should talk about is handlebar width. This is a question that comes up a lot in the group. How wide should your handlebars be? Now, typically within the industry they are getting wider, and there's some really good reasons for that. But how do you know how to pick your right width? So if we look at my bike here, just get my helmet out of the way. So if we look at my bike here, I'm running quite wide handlebars. So these are 800mm wide. Now, for me, that's probably pretty good. I'm a fairly big guy, I've got long arms. Now, the reason we're looking at wider handlebars is because people are moving to more aggressive riding and to a more aggressive riding position on the bike. So basically what that means, and we've talked about it a lot in our skills videos, is you want to be riding in a position where you sort of chins over the stem and your elbows are forward, because that's a nice strong position to be in. Now you can see in that position, if I move my hands in narrower, that sort of looks really unstable and you're really not going to have great control. As you go out wider, my maximum control point is probably about there, where my arms are reasonably straight and quite extended. That's actually fractionally off the end of my handlebars, so I could probably actually go a little bit wider. In my normal ready position, that's about there. So you can see I'm in a nice strong position and my arms are making a great shape and it sits really nicely. So obviously, if you're smaller, you've got shorter arms, you've got narrower shoulders, you're going to want to bring those bar widths in a little bit. But the old days of sort of XC handlebars that were 650 wide and sort of in here, that's really pretty much a thing of the past. So we're not really riding in this sort of road position anymore. As the trails are getting more technical, everybody's moving to a bit more open, better control position. So you can see why bars are getting wider. Now the other side effect of this is to keep the steering. Because the bars are getting wider, to still keep the steering working, then your stem's going to probably get a bit shorter accordingly. So most bikes now are coming with slightly shorter stems, and they do go together. So if you're going to go for wider bars, you do want to bring your stem length in a little bit as well. It'll keep you in a good position and it will make it a lot easier to turn. If you've got a long stem and wide bars, you start ending up with this real boat sort of turning approach rather than actually the bars just turning. So definitely they're going to go together. Now the other thing we'll talk about while we're here is bar height. And this is once again a common thing that people seem to have issues with. We find that a lot of bike shops will set bikes up with the bars too high. So just turn around sideways so you can see a bit better. So basically, if you're going to be in a reasonably forward aggressive position, the higher your bars, the harder that's going to be. And what it will do is it'll tend to push you back on the bike. So while it might be comfortable to sit and ride like this, you really are going to lose a lot of performance out of the bike. So the reality is, the lower the bars, the more it's going to make it easier for you to get into a forward ready position, and that will get you more centered, more balanced on the bike. So ideally you probably want your bars, start point, put your bars down as low as they'll go, and if you're not getting sort of sore backs and sore necks from riding that low, it's probably a good spot. If it's starting to be uncomfortably low and you're too hunched over, then bring them up a little bit. Now if you're riding really steep trails all the time, you might want to go a little bit higher again. So the Slayer is quite tall here in the head stem, and that's basically because you are sitting up a little bit more upright, because the bike is designed to be ridden on really steep terrain. Now that's not to say you want to jack them up super high, because you still do need to be maintaining the weight on that front wheel to get your maximum control. So yeah, have a play with it. It's really easy to change. You can simply raise and lower the bars. If they've got spaces below the stem, you can take them out and put them above the stem, so you don't have to cut your forks down. And that way you can get a bit of a feel for it and see how it's going to affect the performance of the bike, and make sure that it's not uncomfortable for you to ride. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Hopefully this is really useful, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.